Good evening. Welcome to attend this Series 3, Dr. Lin's Health Series. And today is Series 3, and the topic is philosophy and practice of YinYang and TaiChi from Chinese art to health and medicines. My name is Mike Chen. I'm currently the board director, and last year I was the chairman of this organization. And I'm glad to work with Dr. Lin for maybe more than 4 years now. So this is a very good, healthy session. I hope it will benefit for your the practice and your health. And this section is presented by our organization. Our organization called the South Coast Chinese Cultural Association, and supported by Susan Samuel Institute for Integrity Health at the UCLY, and also we got a donation from the Monty J. Southern California Science and Technology Association and the Legal Foundation Angel. And let me introduce Dr. Lin's background. And he is the founding director, lecturer of the Mind-Body Signal and Energy Research at the UCLY. And he was appointed by the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Service to serve on the National Advisory Council on Complementary Medicine and Integrative Health. And he also served as an editorial board at the Journal of the Alternative and Complementary Medicine. And he also has been trained in the house training of 15 years with Grandmaster Chen Zhenlei and the Chen Family Village. And this is the birthplace is in the Tai Chi. And he also trained with Grandmaster Yang Zhen Dao, great-grandson of the founder of the Yang Side Tai Chi. So today, welcome to attend this session, and I hope you can learn a lot of the Tai Chi, Kung Fu, and all the biomedicine, all the things, and you can practice day after day. Thank you. Let's welcome Dr. Li.
Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Mike, for your nice introduction. Because this is the first session in this series of 8 presentations, I want to take this opportunity to introduce you to the whole program that's coming up for the rest of the year. Of course, tonight is session number 1. In March, it's about once a month. In March, session number 2 is the first of a pair of presentations. This one is on the biology of mind-body practices like Tai Chi, Qigong, Yoga, on body structure and function, body like the bones, muscles, tendons. Followed in April by the second of this pair, biology of mind-body practices on brain structure and function, showing you how certain exercises will increase the number of brain cells you have, to increase your memory, decrease your stress. And so this is a pair, meant to be a pair. I have to say in advance that these are actually combinations of lecture, 1 hour lecture like tonight, followed by 1 hour of hands-on learning session. So you will have an opportunity to learn certain exercises to illustrate the principles that we discussed during the lecture. The date hasn't been set, but number 4 is in May. This one is on natural healing strength. from what's called the placebo effect to how to optimize medical treatments. Session number 5 is in June. Energy medicine, from energy practices to energy emitting devices for healing. Session number 6 is a unique one. This one is on the science and practice of Wing Chun Kung Fu for health and for self-defense. If you have watched any of the Bruce Lee movies, Ip Man movies, that's all about Wing Chun. And I'm very privileged to have trained with the same teacher that trained Bruce Lee and the Ip Man. So I can give you a first-hand instruction on some of these techniques to enhance your health or, if necessary, to beat somebody up. Number 7 will be after the summer, summer vacation, so will be like sometime in September or October. Date to be arranged. Very happy to have Professor David Kilgore, MD, Vice Chairman of the Department of Family Medicine and the Director of Integrative Medicine Residency. He will talk about integrative medicine in regard to the training that MDs get and how they practice integrative medicine within family medicine, certainly in Orange County, but all over the country as well. And finally, again, something to be arranged later for the year, preventive cardiology. As you probably know, heart disease is the #1 killer in the United States. And sadly, a vast majority of fatal cases can be prevented. So this will be a very valuable lecture on how lifestyle changes, exercise, mind-body, Tai Chi, and changing your diet could minimize deaths due to heart disease. So just a preview of what's coming up for the rest of the year. And those of you who registered to come here, we have your email address and we will be sure to notify you when some of these dates are set. But the March and April dates are already here. And many people say, I can't come tonight, I have something else. That's why we have a camera there, video camera. Series 1, 13 sessions, Series 1 and Series 2, 13 different sessions, completely different from the ones that I talked about. They have been recorded and they are online. So if you go to simply sccca.org, which is, South Coast Chinese Cultural Association.org, you scroll down to the bottom of the web page, the home page, and click on the YouTube. Then you will see, over a dozen of these videos online, including this one, which will be there perhaps in a couple of weeks. So today's topic is Tai Chi. I have meant to make this talk a review of many of the things I talked about in the past 2 years and some of the things yet to come this year. So first of all, I want to introduce the concept of Tai Chi, the philosophy of Tai Chi and the practices, and then discuss how this is applied to in the Chinese arts, health and medicine, and then teach you some exercises on how to improve your health based on this philosophy. So most of you know Tai Chi as Tai Chi Chuan, the exercise. Okay, of course, everybody's doing Tai Chi. 2008, Tai Chi people doing Chen-style Tai Chi at the Winter Olympics and the London Olympics, 2012 Pandas doing Tai Chi, and of course, a couple years ago, a year or so ago, Tai Chi in Rio. So everybody's doing Tai Chi, and yours truly doing it on Earth, and the astronaut Liu Yo doing it in the space station. So we know Tai Chi, but only Tai Chi, the mind-body practice. But Tai Chi is much more than that. the term Tai Chi refers to a philosophy, a Chinese philosophy that's fundamental to Chinese culture, not just in doing this, but also in art, in health, in medicine, and so forth. And this is what I'm going to talk about today. Now, Tai Chi, first of all, is the perfect balance and harmony of the yin and the yang. Yin in Chinese means dark, yang means bright, but it's a lot more than that. Okay? The concept is that many different things, if not all things on earth, are classified as either yin or yang, cold or hot, dark or bright, the moon or the sun, spicy or mild, female, male, and relevant to Tai Chi Chuan, soft and hard, slow and fast, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Okay? So here's a symbol of Tai Chi right in the middle here, on top of a mountain that I was visiting in China. And this is the universal symbol of Tai Chi. Two things. The perfect balance and harmony. If it's just the perfect balance of yin and yang, all you need is a circle that's half black, half white. That's perfect balance. But Tai Chi is much more than that. Tai Chi is the ultimate state of balance and harmony of yin and yang, not just balance. So, you see, if black color is yin, white is yang, this diagram signifies from the yin comes the yang, from the yang comes the yin, and from the yin comes the yang, and so forth. But also, even when the yang is at its strongest, within the yin, within the yang, there's yin. When the yin is at its strongest, within the yin, there's yang. So this is a lot more than just perfect balance. Okay? So, a living symbol of Tai Chi here, I can't resist including here. This Panda, the thing on the right here, this is my wife, Diane. You see? So from the yin comes the yin, from the yin comes the yang, okay? And then within the yang there's the yin. This is a living symbol of Tai Chi. Okay? But also, this wonderful animal also has this yin and yang. It's a giant animal. Strong, big, okay? But it's like a teddy bear. So it's, that's the two sides of the characteristics of this animal. But more seriously, this is a fundamental culture of of China, from China, which is quite different from the American obsession of the more, the bigger, the better, okay, instead of perfect balance and harmony. Oh, extreme sports. This guy jumped out of a plane to skateboard down the mountain. Extreme fight club. Oh, you want to be healthy? Oh, wow, like that guy, okay? Mega millions. Ultra rich people. The greatest American hero, okay? So these are not consistent with the idea of, balance and harmony. So let me illustrate a few things here with examples that are quite personal to me, as you will see. In the arts, okay, Tai Chi in the arts. For these, maybe I'll turn off all the front lights so you can see better. First, painting. Zhang Daqian is arguably the most famous painter in the 20th century from China. Okay, and this is a painting that Zhang Daqian gifted to my father. And look at this picture here. Okay, within the yin, there's the yang. Okay? Within the yin. Within the yang, white, this is the yin. Within the yin, there's this yang here. And those of you sitting close can see that even with this stalk of the lotus leaf, a very strong brushstroke coming down, there are these details, dot, 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 you know, the small and fine with the claws. And the flower, these are like splashes of white, and very fine brushstrokes, you know, the stems of the center, and the color, okay. So, some Tai Chi in there. My mother drew this one, okay. She belongs to the so-called Lingnan Pai. And look at this, okay. These leaves were drawn by big splashes of color, but then you see the fine details. You know, the stalks. And look at this insect. This is like an insect on the leaf that's drawn with very, very fine brush. So again, a good harmony of fine and coarse and botanical product and an animal all blended together. In calligraphy, this is a calligraphy piece by YinYang TaiChi. Some of you may know him, very famous calligrapher here in Southern California. And look at his brushes. You know, fine and coarse, fine, coarse, straight in a sphere, okay? All blending like a Tai Chi symbol. This is like big, strong, and then like that, okay? His famous student here, Terry Lee, San Suyan, who was one of the first principals of the Chinese school that you're sitting in right now. Look at her calligraphy. Bo, yang, and yin, da, 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 yin, yang, and yin, you know, bo, and so forth. And look at this, yin and yang. This is a calligraphy by another famous person, Shi Gang. And at the first look, it seems like, you know, very ordered characters. But if you look, it's not by accident that there are these strong words and then the small one here. Seems almost out of place. You know, big characters and then the small one. Big and a small one. Big and a small one. Big and small. Big and small, yin and yang, in the whole painting. Culinary art. I happen to be in Yangzhou. Yangzhou is maybe 150 miles from Shanghai. And Yangzhou cuisine is one of the 4 major cuisines of China. Cantonese, like what you get in Shanghai, for instance, is one. Yangzhou is not represented here in Irvine. But look at this, okay? This is a big fish the head of the fish and the body, but then the soup. The tofu is sliced so thin that it melts in your mouth. Nice balance. Here is the lion's head, 狮子头. One single ball. You only get one. It's not like, bowl of spaghetti. You get 5, 6, 7. One. Okay, but very delicious. Balanced by, look at these little shrimp. I put a quarter here just to give you a scale. They're almost small as rice. And for dessert, of course, a Tai Chi dessert of 2 flavors. Okay. Music. I chose this one to illustrate a particular point. Panda, of course, is one of the most famous of modern Chinese composers. And he wrote the score and got the Academy Award for sound, if I'm not mistaken, for this movie. They got the Academy Awards for Best Foreign Movie, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And when you listen to this, okay, think about this. This came at the end of the movie. It's a love song, and it's about the parting of ways. Very gentle, but now that I pointed out to you, you'll hear beating of drums, dong, 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 which of course symbolizes martial, fighting, which is what this movie is about. A mesh of a love story with kung fu fighting. Okay, it's embedded in this music. So the yin, within the yin, there's a yang in there.